From the middle. I screwed up already. I don't know why this part makes me nervous.
Founding member.
You're right.
We are a founding member of the Odd Pod Movie now.
Let's leave that one. That's the one.
Let's do that one.
Oh, for the love.
Sorry, just clearing my Mountain Dew hole.
I got my phone hole cleaned today.
That's where you keep it?
You're so cerebral and you're so developed and evolved. From the middle after dark over here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is episode number 78 of From the Middle. We are a podcast, as you would already know that, because you clicked on something within your podcast realm and you landed on this voice right here. Well, let me tell you a little bit about us. My name is Kendall. We've got Dylan over there. We've got his brother Corey over there. And I'm just a guy who gets to be their friend. And we started this podcast. We are three middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives, with a point of view that's somewhere in the middle. And we enjoy the chat, as they say. And we could talk about nothing for a long time. And sometimes we do just that. Every once in a while, you catch us on a rare occasion. We'll talk about something that means something to you. And in those moments, look out, because we have life behind us and even more in front of us. And we talk about where we've been and where we're going. And all the while, we have fun and try to laugh. And quite frankly, we don't care about a lot of things that you care about. And so we're not going to, From the Middle is not a nod toward our political affiliations. Anything of that nature. We've had people that have told us that.
Yeah.
That when they hear the term From the Middle, they think that they're going to hear politics. And you came to the wrong place, my friend.
I think we try to sell people that this is more comedy and culture. Like if the show Seinfeld in its very nature is very episodic, there's not a ton of stories that have to carry throughout multiple episodes. You can kind of jump in anywhere. What you're being sold on with the show Seinfeld is it's comedy and culture, but just watch wherever you want. Whatever episode you tune into, you're going to enjoy it. I think that's us. Like,
that is us. And that's
nowhere near as funny, but like that's that's us.
When you have to check the boxes and Apple asks you what kind of podcast is this, and you're looking, we're none of these. All right, comedy and culture. I don't know. It's not that we try to be funny. We're just stupid and people laugh at us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
on that note, if you want to check out our library of back episodes, we try to title them in such a way that it tells you pretty much right out of the gate what it's going to be about. And then you can discern whether or not you think that's something you would like to listen to us yammer on about. We're unscripted, we're relaxed and conversational, and we invite you to just imagine that you're pulling up a chair and pulling up your favorite beverage and just enjoying the chat with us.
So all that said, I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Something that I don't think we've discussed yet on this
Sandwiches?
podcast. No, we've talked about sandwiches. Finally,
not nearly enough.
Not enough. We'll do that more. Maybe today. Manbags.
Satchels?
Satchels, whatever. Manbags. Whatever
Mercy.
comes to your mind when you're
Mm-hmm.
purses, they're European, whatever it is. I'm in a situation right now where we recently, within the past week or two, had one of our little ones diagnosed with a tree nut allergy. What that means for us is that we carry EpiPens now. And EpiPens are not small. They are large. And the recommendation from the doctor, and when we filled the prescription, like the box has 2 in it, and they gave us 2 boxes. So like one of the boxes of pair of EpiPens goes to the school, The other one stays with us. And so I have this box that's like, it's like a 4x8 box that I have to carry with me now. And you can't leave it in the car for temperature control reasons. So that's not an option. You can't just like throw it in the glove box. Can't go to a restaurant or shopping, after COVID, and just leave it in the car. I have to have it with me. Doesn't fit in a pocket. And like I said, I'm carrying 2 of them, so I can't just like swap out the cucumber. And so I'm left with having to figure out a bag situation. I've never had to think about a bag situation. What are you guys? What are your thoughts on the bag? Do either one of you carry a bag?
No. But I have often thought about carrying a messenger bag.
Right.
Should just, complete the hipster ensemble. But are those like 10 years ago? Are people over those now?
No, I think those are still a thing.
Fanny packs are back in. No?
Well, there's another option. So the messenger bag, which is when I think man bag, messenger bag is what comes to mind. I think of a small messenger bag. Like if you've ever looked at like the Nutsack website, they make man bags that are smaller than your average messenger bag.
Okay.
And they're actually pretty high end stuff. Like we're gonna giggle over the name.
I don't know.
Nutsack.
I don't know
I'm
what's a
just worried about people stumbling upon the wrong thing here.
I don't know what's a joke in this setup and what's not. That's what's wrong.
NUTSAC. There's already been a couple jokes in there that I walked through.
Slip the word cucumber in there. I don't know.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. Don't worry about it. I regret saying it.
All right, continue.
Nutsack is real. It's a real company. They make man bags.
Okay.
So that is an option. An all-out messenger bag is an option, or like a computer bag is an option. A backpack's an option. Fanny pack is an option.
What are the ones that the kids are wearing? That
the sling bags, like
the sling bags, but they wear them on the front.
You can wear them on the front. They wear them on the front, I think, just because they're being kids, and that's weird. And kids do weird things. I still think they're meant to be worn on the back, but then the idea of a sling bag is that like to get it, it's easier to get into because you just like roll it around and there's all your stuff instead of like a backpack you have to take off, or a messenger bag might be kind of awkward. But so I don't know. I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are. If you had to carry a bag, what would you carry? I already made a purchase that hasn't been delivered just yet, but
what kind of nutsack did you buy?
I did not buy a nutsack. I bought I'm going with the backpack route.
Okay.
It's a slightly smaller than normal backpack. Would probably just barely fit my laptop, but I'm not going to use it for my laptop. It's leather. I feel like it's kind of classy, kind of casual-ish. So it wouldn't, which is important to me. Like I don't want it to be like super sporty or anything like that. Like that's not me.
With your love of everyday carry and everyday carry item
me.
Research, I imagine you had a field day with this.
It took me a long time to land on a system, on even a backpack versus bag or whatever, and then which backpack. And then now I'm going through the motions of like, okay, well now I've got to open up my everyday carry game now. I've got to rethink everything. And so like I'm like one thing that makes me feel better about being the guy who's carrying a backpack around every day, it would be to like have a toolkit. So like I'm like piecing together a little tool bag that I can put in there. So yeah, changing up the everyday carry thing in a massive fashion. I myself carry an inhaler, and that's annoying to have in my pocket every day. And so I'm excited about getting that out of my pocket.
Speaking of everyday carry, I already showed you this, but I updated mine.
Yeah.
I got rid of the bulky phone case / wallet and got myself the super slim front pocket carry Ridge wallet. We are not sponsored by them, but dude, I'm loving it. It can hold up to 12 cards. You got your choice of a money clip on the back, or you can do an elastic band across the back for your money clip. And yeah, I love it. Super lightweight. It is RFID blocking technology, whatever. Got my dad one. So
Cool.
we're Ridge buddies now. No offense.
Nice.
Well, that's the angle I was going to take, right? So, like, all the way back to episode 14, we introduced your love of everyday carry. And I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for you to totally re-examine what you can carry. And on top of that, is there anything that that you wished you could have been carrying that now you could? And that just opens up like a whole new like episode update in the future once you get it all hammered out. Because when I was before work from home, I was using a standard, like I went to Target and just found like a standard like gray backpack. That's what I decided I was going to like take to my big boy job. I didn't want the side bag thing. I didn't want like a briefcase. I wanted something I could just have on my back with both my hands on the straps, like to carry, if it's cold or whatever. I don't have something extra hanging off of me,
Right.
So I had a lot more room for stuff that I could carry, and it was nice. You start thinking about like, do I want to keep like a drink or snack in there? Do I want to be able to keep extra stuff, chargers, anything? So I'd be curious to know once you actually get it, if the bag that you ordered is the one you keep. I'd be curious to know what else you think you want to add, because you've now got a lot more options.
It'll be interesting. Keeping weight down, I think, is something that's going to be a problem with me. And it's the story of my life. But yeah, I've thought about that too. Like, man, there's all kinds of things that I would love to be able to carry with me, but especially when I started putting that tool bag together, I'm like, man, this thing's getting kind of heavy, and I got to think about that. And like, I mean, a tourniquet is going to be part of the situation when I'm going to be a guy with a tourniquet.
Because you never know.
You just never know.
Speaking of carrying things, I think we're all carrying a little extra weight after Thanksgiving. Did you guys have a good turkey day?
Yeah.
We teed it up pretty hard. We got to follow through.
All right.
It was delightful. I have to say, as much as I missed family, it was really relaxing to not have to go anywhere. The missing family and friends thing is kind of par for the course right now. Like that's a week in, week out experience. But like, I talked about how much I enjoyed the traditionally the Macy's parade. I got up. We actually beat our daughter getting up. We got up before her, so I was able to go make coffee, sit down, cue up the parade, start making cinnamon rolls and just enjoy kind of the relaxing morning. And then we had our dinner was lunch. So we had a big lunch and then just kind of snack the rest of the day. And it was very relaxing. It was very nice, totally different. And honestly, because of how much I enjoyed it, all things considered, it kind of made me more excited for probably Christmas at home, but then also the idea of how much more I think I'll enjoy the holidays next year if things are more back to normal. So yeah, it was great, man. Great food, very relaxing, and it was a nice time. How about you?
Go ahead, Kendall.
So it was. I told Corey this already. That literally the best Thanksgiving of my life. It was fantastic. Like it was great. I love my family. My extended family and my parents, and that's all great, but like it was just as Dylan was saying, just the relaxing day, and just Amy and I and the three kids, like it was a fun day. Like we did fun things, and man, it was just a really good day and my favorite Thanksgiving so far. And we got up in the morning, and everybody was downstairs by the time I was. And I think the kids just wanted like cereal for breakfast, but I made Amy and I goat cheese and green onion omelets. And then a 5-pound bag of potatoes was used to make a big pot of mashed potatoes. And that was in the late morning. And we ended up just skipping lunch altogether. I think the kids probably I think Amy gave something to kids. I'm not sure, but it was just like, man, You just walk by just every time you walk through the kitchen, you just grab a spoonful of potatoes, put in your mouth.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole day was until then dinner, which we ordered Indian food. We ordered out Indian food and ate that family style at the at the TV, at the coffee table at the TV. So for us, it was kind of because we're most nights around a dinner table, TV off, and we're talking to each other. Like we do that regularly most nights. So for us, instead of like breaking out the fine china and doing something super fancy, like we chose to go hard in the other direction for Thanksgiving, and I have no regrets.
That's awesome.
As much as I love to cook, as much as Amy loves to cook, as much as we both enjoy like making good food and eating it, like ordering Indian takeout was perfect for that day. And it was good. I liked it.
I'm so glad you did it, because we kind of teed up what we were excited about in the previous episode, and you mentioned that you were planning on ordering Indian food and making mashed potatoes. So did you pour curry all over the mashed potatoes?
The mashed potatoes were gone way before then.
Oh, okay. It didn't make it. I was hoping there was going to be this kind of like Irish European mashup with Indian food, like all in the same dish, delicious like mashup. It didn't happen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I love the family. It really, really sucked not to be able to be with them, the extended family, I mean. But we just made the most of it and enjoyed the heck out of the day, and not being on the road for 3.5 hours. And it was wonderful. Sherry destroyed the meal.
You sent us a picture of your dinner table, and it needs to be in a magazine.
The spread that Sherry rolled out for lunch for Thanksgiving Day was spectacular. She did a fantastic job because she wanted to. She didn't feel any undue pressure to do that. She just wanted to, and she crushed it. So yeah, great day. Loved watching the Thanksgiving Day parade and football, and it was a good day. Let me tell you about my evening, however, and I need you guys' take on this to help me determine whether or not I did the right thing here. This is going to be like, for those of our listeners that remember mowing 4 strips of my neighbor's grass, this is one of those neighbor etiquette questions. So early in the day, my daughter is 13 and she is playing basketball. And so she wanted to play basketball in the driveway. And it was a pretty sunny and nice day out. And so she asked me to move the car so she could play basketball. Okay, we go about the rest of our day, lounging around. Nice, relaxed Thanksgiving Day at home. At 10:30 p.m., my neighbor calls me and says, "Hey, you might want to come out here. My guests just smashed into your car."
Oh.
So I walk out and I'm like, okay, how I handle this. I need to be thoughtful about how I handle this. So as I'm walking down my driveway, I see them all standing in the street, and I go, "Happy Thanksgiving," as kind of like a, haha, yeah, this is what we're here to do. Have this conversation. And he goes, "Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, sorry about all this. I hope you weren't asleep or whatever. This isn't my neighbor. This is the driver of the vehicle, my neighbor's guest."
Yeah.
And I go, "Yeah, what happened?" He goes, "Yeah, I hit your car." And then he goes, ready for this? Plug your ears, kids. "It shouldn't have been parked there, damn it."
Oh.
Okay. Well, we have street parking in our neighborhood, and it was parked under a street light. Now I'm a little hot.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them in the car, and as I walk up to them, they reek of alcohol. So we go through the process of exchanging insurance information. We share the same insurance company. So he's like, "I'll file a claim tomorrow, blah, blah, blah." So that was Thursday night. Today, I get a call from the insurance company. And they say, "Hello, Mr. Hubble. We're calling to talk to you about a situation that happened on this and such a date. I'm going to put you on a recorded line.
Yeah.
And just talk you through the process, make sure we've got all the details, right? Blah, blah, blah." So she's like, I'll be right back. Mr. Hubble, are you aware that this portion of the call is being recorded? Yes. Can you please state your name? Yes. Address, all this stuff, right? So then she goes, can you describe what happened? And this was in the evening. And were there any witnesses? Did you guys call the police? All that stuff. Then she goes, is there anything that I didn't ask that you would like to tell me? Crossroads moment.
Yeah,
Do I let them know that they reeked of alcohol?
man.
Am I being petty by doing that? Am I just mad at the guy?
Did the driver reek of alcohol?
Yeah.
Well, then yeah.
Through a mask. Or do I just let it go because snitches get stitches? And like,
Well, and to be fair, the driver could have reeked of alcohol but not been drinking too. Like if he's in the car.
Well, yeah, Corey's not a judge. He's just like,
Right.
yeah, he reeked of alcohol. He's just stating a fact
Yeah,
that may or may not be relevant.
The folks in the car collectively reeked of alcohol. I can't say whether or not the driver specifically did.
but is that like an unnecessary thing to inform them, or is that the exact thing they need to know when trying to figure out a percentage of who's at fault?
Honestly, I probably would have asked, what do you mean by that? Like what's extra information that people provide that you find helpful? And then I might have let them answer the question. The insurance person, because if they're asking for something specific, then they need to be more specific.
Kendall, what are your thoughts when she
I don't
said
know.
that? Based on the slightly annoying comment of it shouldn't have been parked there, damn it.
Well, the fact that was an annoying comment would have nothing to do with it for me. What would though is just that having that little ring of there's a part of him that thinks that he didn't do anything wrong here and that it's somehow my fault. Now, I'm not going to be sitting next to him when he's talking to the insurance company, which means that I need to, I would act defensively at that point. And so, yes, I would bring that up for sure, just because I'm afraid of what he might have told them.
I mean, if it's a parked car, I don't think there's anything he can tell them that makes it look like it's not his fault.
I can't think of anything either, but they're crazier things, man.
So when she gave me this choice, I said, well, as a matter of fact, not that I'm trying to throw anybody under the bus, but it may be relevant. It may be relevant to the context of the claim you're putting together here, that the driver reeked of alcohol, and that may or may not have impaired his ability to see my parked car sitting under a street light. You be the judge. And I felt like had he not said the whole thing about it shouldn't have been parked there, I may have withheld that information, which tells me that it was just a little bit, probably jabby, but a little bit ensuring, no pun intended, that they don't say, well, you're 22% at fault because it was parked on the street almost directly opposite your neighbor's driveway. Even though two cars can get around your car when it's parked on the street.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you know how that plays out. But it smashed. So it hit the van.
Yeah.
And it smashed the sliding door and dented it in and smashed the rear panel above the tire. So it's going to have to be a door and a rear panel reinstalled. So it's no small ding. Like it's dented.
Right, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Just total it. It's dead. Start over.
I just had that van repaired because during a windstorm, the basketball hoop blew over the hoop and smashed the side mirror. Fun times. Anyway. Okay. Well, I just wanted you guys' thoughts on that and whether or not I should have said anything.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the right thing to do because it's more than likely relevant. I mean, maybe he was completely sober and he just smelled like it because everyone was drinking, but
yeah.
And that's a whole bit. Like, I can't remember. I think that was even one of Sebastian Maniscalco's bits where like, talking about getting in a car accident and the person that rear ends somebody else gets out of the car and is like, what are you doing? How could you let me hit you? And I don't, it's just,
that's what Sherry thinks. She thinks his comment was more about his own frustration at himself for backing into a parked car and going, hey, it shouldn't have been parked there, because he's grasping at straws, trying to, because he feels bad and he's annoyed that it happened and now he has to deal with it. And it's 10:30 on Thanksgiving night. They've been hanging out all day. He doesn't want to deal with this, tired and wants to go home. Like that's what she
and
comment was more about.
Even in that instance now, like I still, this is a comment on humanity. I know a lot of people who've been in car wrecks. I don't know anybody whose fault it was.
Yeah.
Even if they hit a parked car.
Yeah. As somebody who has been in various types of service and support and helping people with things, I honestly, most people have no issue lying if it was their fault or omitting very obvious details.
Right.
Hey, looks like your phone screen is shattered. Do you know what happened? Fell on the carpet and just shattered. I'm sorry. Let's back up a little bit.
I touched it with a teddy bear and it blew up.
Did a brick fall on it on the carpet after it fell onto the carpet? Did a bullet come through the window, a stray bullet, and hit it? People have no problem lying with that kind of stuff. So
I'll take store credit.
Yeah. Well, I asked Sherry if I should tell this story. She said no. Because she's like, you don't want that getting out. And our neighbors felt terrible. It's not their fault. It's their guests' fault. And they need to rethink their friendships. So anyway, speaking of mowing lawns.
Yeah. So I mowed our lawn for the last time yesterday. And it's deep. It feels too deep into the winter to even be saying that. But I say it for this reason. As I was mowing yesterday, and it's snowy today, and I was wearing shorts yesterday. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what Ohio is like. As I was mowing, I was thinking to myself, it's too late in the year to be doing this. And if I have to mow again, I think 2020 just wins. I think I'm probably just done if I've got to do it one more time. And it was fine. I mean, it was fine. It did start a little mowing war though in the neighborhood. So I went out, it was midday. I went out and, I'm weeding and there's like leaves in the gutter along the road. I'm trying to get the leaves out and just kind of clean up generally the yard. So it looks decent going into the winter. And I noticed a couple doors down, then somebody's out with their push mower about 10 minutes after I start. And then I'm kind of winding up. Like I'm like wrapping everything up and winding down on the front yard, and the neighbor across the street like kind of rushes out with his push mower. And I'm like, I'm sure it has nothing to do with me mowing my yard, like trying to make it look nice before winter so it doesn't look crappy all winter. But it did feel kind of funny. Or either that or everyone's like, oh, this is the probably last nice day of weather and sunshine before like March.
Sure.
I've mowed in December before, and the same thing happens. They hear that in the background. They're inside. They have no intent of mowing. They hear the mower and they go, that's not a bad idea. This might be the last nice day for a while. I should probably, if nothing else, it gets the leaves up. And
Right.
Well, that was my thinking. I'm like, I'm going to make sure to put the bag on. I'm going to go out and like weed and pick up piles of leaves and stuff. Just make everything really nice. I don't know if you ever remember this. Like we always had a very well-maintained yard as kids growing up, but do you ever remember going somewhere in the snow and it's really thick grass and you're like trudging through it as you're trying to play in the snow? Yeah. And so I'm like, in the off chance that we're going to have enough nice days for our daughter to go out and play in the snow, I don't want it to be like thick, deep grass that like, I don't know. It was just a thing that popped in my head. And like the yard needs to look nice before we go into winter. I have my reasons. But it just felt like it was just kind of a funny, I'm giving up if I have to do this again. And I somehow started this like thing through the neighborhood. So I'll stop there. Let's take a quick break. We'll hear from one of our friends and we'll come right back and talk more about Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm Midnight Agent Raw.
And I'm Okami.
We are the Super Media Bros Podcast.
And each week we give a comedic take on all forms of entertainment such as
Movies,
music,
video games,
television,
and much more. So put your shades on and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Shades on.
we're off.
And so that's when I said, I know you're the leader of this cult. I just think your water to sugar ratio is off in this Kool-Aid.
Yep. That's been my biggest complaint
About cults?
about cults. And I mean, they're just bastardizing Punch. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Punch is sacred. It's frankly, yeah. I mean, especially like for the moment, you want it to be perfect. You want everything to be perfect for the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So
So anyways,
Thanksgiving weekend. The other big part of Thanksgiving weekend we haven't talked about yet. Did you guys do any kind of Black Friday / Cyber Monday shopping? Out and about or at home? Did you do any?
from home, yes.
Is that when you got your bag?
Yeah, actually, I got my bag and other things.
Did you get a friggin' sweet deal on your bag?
I did get a friggin' sweet deal on the bag.
Nice. That's where this topic pays off.
it's great.
That is. Yeah, there was other stuff.
I
There was a lot of there's been a lot of things purchased in the past several days here.
Yeah. We've done we're doing some Christmas shopping. We've done it all online. I'm not big Black Friday, any of that. I mean, I hop around a few sites for things that I know I was going to look for anyways, just to see if anything's discounted, or I'll browse a couple of those like best of Black Friday deals things, just like maybe I can quickly order something for somebody as a gift that I needed.
Sure.
And we don't really do much of that. However, just for fun, I got, if you never listened before, at least Corey and I are big Lego fans. And so I got an email for Black Friday from Lego. So I was like, I'll just poke around the website. And I experienced something that I've never experienced before in my life.
Tell us.
Couldn't find something?
No, well, that happens all the time. No, I was put into a queue to get admitted to the website because Lego had so much traffic.
Wow.
So I was sent to a temporary screen with like a loading bar.
Nutsacks.com.
Thank goodness. No.
Was that like the holding page?
I couldn't even get to the website to shop. And it said like, you are 8,476 in line.
Whoa.
And the bar would move like a little bit. And then it would say like, you're 6,427 in line. I've never been queued up for a website before. And I just had this moment where I was like staring in disbelief at my phone, because you always just expect to type in a website and immediately go there and do whatever you need to do. I've never been queued for a website. I didn't know if you guys have ever experienced anything like that, but I didn't wait long. I mean, to be fair, I think it was all of about, 45 seconds maybe. I sat on that queue screen. So it wasn't a big deal, but it was just wild. And maybe they knew like, hey, in the past, our website crashes if we have more than this many people. So we're better off just creating a little digital. I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason for it. Not upset that they did it, just wild that it happened. And then I was just let into the website like normal, but I couldn't bypass it. It was just like, I was locked on that.
We don't have a website, but if we ever get one, I want to do that same thing just for the optics.
Yeah.
The reality is it's one at a time. One at a time, guys.
We got a hamster on a wheel who's powering this website.
Yeah.
No, how cool would that look if people are like, I can't even get onto their website?
Yeah. These guys.
No, I've never experienced that. I'm amazed that they figured out the threshold of like, how many people is it going to take to smash this website and our servers? And will queue everybody else up so that they have that number figured out. That's pretty.
They have to. There's no other reasonable explanation for why they would create a queue other than they know, hey, our website gets really sluggish and crappy if X number of users are on it at one time.
I wonder if it has anything to do with like the shop, like the virtual shop itself.
Maybe. And maybe it's not about actually just browsing, but actually like checking out and their system processing orders or whatever. But it's like Lego. It's not even like there's anything discounted. It's like, oh, this thing is 10% off for Black Friday. And usually they'll have a certain threshold, spend $75 and get a free small tiny set, spend $150 and get like a slightly nicer free set. And so it's just wild. It was just an interesting, we're in like the 5G era where everything is lightning fast. And here I was queued up to just look at a website.
I didn't do any Black Friday shopping, but you made me think of a question. You made me think of something. I want to know the behind the scenes stories of certain items and how they're purchased online. So take, for example, Lego recently did the 501st Trooper sets, right? Well, there's an actual 501st group, fan club group, cosplayers. Yeah, that one right there. That one was unavailable for a long period of time on the site. And I want to fill in the blank and say that that's because a lot of the actual 501st guys were buying like dozens of sets to make a massive army. Isn't it true, Kendall, that for Jordans, like when new Air Jordan 1s come out, they actually do go on Nike's site, but people they're limited edition things, and people are like sitting by their computer for the minute that they're supposed to launch, and people are just order. And then they go to StockX, and then they go to GOAT, these aftermarket sites, because all of those were bought up in minutes, right?
Right.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's totally a thing and a problem in a lot of industries. The third-party sellers, they have ways of even robotically buying up massive stocks of things.
Yeah.
And then and they can they can do it faster or whatever than the average consumer. And so they do that. But yeah, no, I worked in the ticketing industry for a while where if we had a big release date and time for a show that was really popular, there were some of those that like, there were people who were standing by, you could guarantee that like our customer service people would be answering phone calls because it's like 9:59 and things go on sale at 10 o'clock and they're wondering why the website won't let them purchase it yet, because they're trying to get some kind of a backdoor in that way. So there's people who are trying to go in like 15 minutes early, finding a phone number and calling and seeing if they can go ahead and buy it right now. To which the answer is no. And people could order over the phone with us, but like, you know, we would have to tell them, but like, we're in the exact same queue that you are. So
yeah. I'm ignorant to all that, but I just imagine for like hot deal items and Black Friday items and like really rare items that hit websites and stuff, that there's this whole underground network of people that they're paying to just click refresh and complete orders.
Isn't that what's happening with the new game consoles right now? Like people are using bots to go in and buy them, and then they're immediately going on eBay for like 2 and 3 times like what the retail value is. And there's even this scam where like eBay has to crack down on people selling. It'll say like the title will basically say, ultimately, we're selling you a picture of the PS5, but people are trying to buy them so quickly. And then they can't get a refund because like it was clear what they were buying.
Yeah.
And so it's this whole, people are mad because it's like, you know, you'll have the geek sites that'll say, hey, Sony says that Walmart.com is going to get a restock of PS5s tonight. And like within 90 seconds, they're sold out. And people are like, I didn't even get to the checkout screen. Like I had added to cart, and before I could even put in payment, it already said, sorry, it's sold out. And so it's happening right now with the game consoles. It's wild, man. And people can't go to the stores and get them, so their only option now is to try to order it, and it's just chaos.
I used to have friends that were deep into that with like when I was in college, the Matrix movies were coming out and the Spawn brand, the McFarlane action figures, like those super highly detailed action figures would come out, and they would know what days the Myers and the Walmarts in the area would get the stock, and that they restock the shelves at 12:01. And so we'd all hop in a car and go to Walmart at 12:01 a.m. to buy up their supply of Matrix figures. And like, I remember those days. And you know, Force Fridays are a thing when you want the new Star Wars merch, because the figures come out before the movie is even out. So you're buying action figures that you don't even know who the character is going to be in the film, but you're all excited because of all the hype. So I get it, but no, I don't know. Sorry, I got off on that side tangent, but it just makes me think about that.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, ultimately, that's a beautiful segue from Thanksgiving to Christmas and all the gift giving and all that stuff, which is exciting. But are either of you guys, you know, Corey, at least you and I were brothers, for anyone listening for the first time, you and I, our mom made a big deal about going to a nearby town growing up, and we would see the lights, and it was kind of a big deal. But are either of you still like big lights, like going to see Christmas lights people? I mean, is that a thing? Do you do it with your kids?
Do you mean like, well,
Put
we
on
like
your PJs, grab some popcorn. We're going to drive through either neighborhoods or one of those drive-through things.
Go out of your way to go find Christmas lights to look
Oh
at.
yeah.
Okay.
I did that before kids, and now I'm doing it with kids.
Okay. Which looks more
So-
normal when people look in the car.
Right. Yeah. But no, I totally, well, even still, like I will drive through like tonight when I go home. It's going to be dark. It's going to be late. My whole family's asleep anyway. Like, I'm going to take the long way through the neighborhood and like see if there's any new lights up that I haven't seen yet.
Beautiful. All right. So here's why I ask. I always think in my mind that that's going to be kind of like a relaxing thing.
Okay.
And then I have a 2.5-year-old. So when it's not, I'm surprised when you go. It's great. She's so high energy. It's like I give her a bag of sugar, but that never happens. And it's so much fun. But she this year, you know, she's closing in on 3, so she is talking more and she can explain a little bit of what she's seeing and excited about. So we took her last night as kind of a test run to our town's downtown where the courthouse is decorated, and then to near a family member's house where there's legit like a Clark Griswold type Christmas vacation type home. Like I'll try to see if I can post the video, because it's that type of home where it's a crazy amount of lights.
Yeah.
She seemed to do pretty well, although it was like a nonstop fury of energy from the back seat. And so today we decided we were going to go to a nearby racetrack. It's about 20 minutes away. And they set up during the winter this huge, massive, like turn off your headlights, because there's lit pathways that you can drive your car through this basically huge light field that is normally a racetrack most of the year. And so it's really cool. It was a nice experience. It's the tune into our radio station. They've got it all synced up with the lights. I was kind of like honed in on, okay, I got to buy the thing and have my mask ready. So I was not really focused on being ready to enjoy it yet, but we're in queue, and we're tuned into the radio station, and they have as part of the mixture of music, they have the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, like the monologue that Clark gives, like teeing up the lights that he's about to show off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of chuckling now because I'm hearing the Clark Griswold thing, and then they immediately work the it's Christmas Vacation, the song, like the main song from the movie Into the Light. So now I'm kind of getting excited because now I'm kind of
Yeah.
singing along.
The
in the
opening
front seat.
titles track.
Yeah. Whatever the main song is
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Christmas Vacation. So it's really good. We're listening to this. Then the Frozen comes on. So my daughter freaks out because now she's super excited because like Frozen is part of the light mix. We're not even in there yet. So we're just kind of waiting to get in because we got there technically a little before they open. And then I was kind of surprised. I heard the slow kind of intro of God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood.
Mhm.
And I thought that's kind of weird, but okay. I mean, we're in the middle of America. It's not uncommon for us to like kind of cram something patriotic maybe into something where it wouldn't normally be. And it's fine.
Sure.
We get excited about it. But then I realized this is like a techno remix of Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA.
Yeah. So it's not that.
And it's like a total banger, man. Like, I'm just like, I'm kind of like jamming along to Lee Greenwood in the middle of this field of lights, like going in. And then right after that, they teed up like TSO, a little Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And so it was just like this weird mix of like the slow intro of Lee Greenwood turned like New York club song. And
We've got to find that.
Yeah.
it was so unexpected. But like, if that's not living in the middle of America, I don't know what is. I'm driving around on a racetrack with Christmas lights to a techno remix of Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, and this is just an activity that we had to do on a weeknight.
And
for
it ended
fun.
up being a medley and pivoted right into "And I'm proud to be an American."
Was kind of waiting for it. It was bizarre. But man, it was a good time. You know, it was like just finding little ways to get excited about Christmas and have something fresh for her to do. And she's so excited because once we pull in and we're past the booth, you're basically idling through this whole thing, right? So we get her out of her car seat and let her sit up in the front seat.
That's what I was going to ask because I thought she was still rear facing in her.
No. We turned her car seat around, but we still got her out and put her in the front seat with us. She's in her PJs, so she's kind of sitting on the center console between us, just like seeing everything and like
cute.
So like she had a ton of fun. But I had to mention the Lee Greenwood thing. I thought that was the most bizarre, kind of awesome, totally weird, definitely Midwest. I don't know how many other places in the world are like jamming like techno remixes of patriotic songs into their holiday celebrations, but here we are. And it was
I'm
fun.
guessing one.
I think there's only one, and I think that is this United States of America.
Yes.
So that was one of my early Christmas stories for you all
I love it.
As we begin the Christmas holiday season now.
And our gift to you, perhaps, as we wind down this episode, is to share some of our recommendations, things we're watching or playing or doing or reading that we think you might enjoy. Dylan, didn't you have some from last time that you never shared?
Did I? I think I got to him, didn't I?
Okay, cool.
Well, I do. We can talk
Video
about
games and Star Wars.
I
recommend both of those things.
We decided several episodes back, we were very excited about The Mandalorian season 2 coming back, and we did a long amount of coverage for a podcast episode. And then we decided, let's boil it down to very, very simple, quick talking points episode by episode to not overwhelm the non-Star Wars fans. And we decided we would call that segment our Mandaforian segment. And so in 4 minutes or less, we just had a very big episode that just came out that we watched, which would have been, I don't remember the chapter number. So this would have been season 2 episode
4 minutes.
Season 2 episode 5. And spoiler alert, right? So if you haven't watched it,
let's not do a spoiler-free version. Let's just get right into it.
okay,
do it.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Ahsoka Tano was freaking awesome. We get Thrawn name dropped. We're seeing little creatures from the animated series get dropped in. You've got this total like Western and samurai duels happening at the same time. And what a great episode. So Dave Filoni, who has spearheaded a lot of the Star Wars animated content, actually directed this episode. I thought it was such a good episode. I love Rosario Dawson, the actress that played Ahsoka Tano. I think that was perfect. And the only thing I can say as Mando's kind of dueling henchman out in the kind of city walkway, and he hears that his boss has lost her duel to Ahsoka Tano, and he goes to put down his thing. I wish he hadn't tried to pull the gun. I thought that would have been such a cool, like, imagine when do you ever hear the henchman who's literally waiting to hear if his boss wins or loses the fight, and then
never. Yeah.
It's not happened. I know Kendall's being sarcastic, but I don't care.
Hey, don't tell Kendall that we found out the name of Baby Yoda / the child. Don't tell Kendall what it is. Let's have him guess. Unless you already heard. Did you already hear?
No, I'm not.
Oh, this is perfect.
Washington. It's my first guess.
Yeah, that would be very American of us, but no.
Okay. All right. Abe.
Also good guess.
If you
maybe
say
think
Ulysses,
more alien-esque.
More alien-esque. Tootsie.
Close, very close.
Okay. Schmoopy.
Also close. That's my update. Corey, you got anything?
Frog.
just gonna call it Frog. That's my favorite.
No proper noun, just frog.
Oh, I think Dylan, in 2 seasons thus far, this has been my favorite episode.
100%.
So much fun, great swashbuckling time, learning Baby Yoda / the child's name, seeing Ahsoka Tano and a Jedi with different colored lightsabers.
Yeah.
Very cool. I geeked out.
I looked over at Bree, my wife, and just said, "This is a friggin' space western, and I'm loving every minute of it. Every single minute of it. It's so good."
Yep. Yeah, it was great.
What else?
Got less than 4 minutes.
What else are you watching, Corey?
You've got a minute left.
No, we're good. I'm
We're
good.
We said
all right.
4 minutes or less.
Left 4
Nice.
minutes or less.
You guys have not commented. If you're watching on YouTube, you've not commented on how I have the drawstrings of my hoodie all night.
No.
It's normal to you?
Haven't even it never registered, man. But now that you draw attention to it, it's weird, and it's yeah. But I mean,
I started watching Voices of Fire on Netflix.
I have no idea what that is.
So Pharrell, the artist,
right.
his uncle is the bishop of a church in Norfolk, Virginia. Is that how you say it?
Nope.
Okay.
Norfolk,
Sorry, Virginia.
Norfolk, Virginia, or around that area. And he wanted to create a choir that redefines and brings gospel music into the modern era. And it's only a 6-episode thing. And they do it American Idol or The Voice style, where they bring in people for auditions. Much to my chagrin, they don't show any bad auditions. They only show the good ones. But they're going to put together this gospel choir full of what Pharrell calls unicorns, people who are exceptionally gifted, and he's not even looking for mediocrity or average singers. He's looking for the best of the best of the best to put together what is going to be a traveling massive gospel choir. And the choir director wears all of his hoodies like this. And so I thought I would try it. But anyway, Voices of Fire. Also, Sherry and I are 2 episodes into the Queen's Gambit, and that's really good. Like, every artist that I follow on Instagram is drawing the lead character from this show because she's got a very unique face.
Yes.
But yeah, this show is super good. Dylan, I know you already finished. So
yeah, we blitzed through it in 2 days, and people just wore me down. I literally everywhere I was looking at anything entertainment news was talking about Queen's Gambit, and Netflix was showing it as like the top number 4 show in the United States or something when you log in. And so we had it in the queue for a couple weeks and finally binged it. And I'll tell you, somebody else in our family said, "Oh yeah, this is me teeing up how not to sell the show." So they were told, "Oh yeah, if you like The Crown, the show The Crown, you should watch The Queen's Gambit," which, if you know nothing about The Queen's Gambit, yes, the words crown and queen do sound similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say they do.
But unless you're talking about period dramas with a strong female lead, that's about all they have in common. So we're explaining the show like, well, it's nothing like The Crown other than it's a period drama with a strong female lead. Yes, those things are similar. Nothing else is similar, but it is a very good show. And if you like dramas with strong female leads, absolutely check it
period
out.
dramas. Period drama.
Period drama.
There
What
was
did I
some period drama in the second episode. Moving on.
Yeah. Well, what did I say? Isn't that the normal thing people say? Or is this Kendall? Is this cucumber
This is
all over
cucumbers and nut sacks all over
again? All
again.
right. Okay, I'm gonna ignore Kendall. So
No,
Please do.
during a match, she found her womanhood. But anyways,
Yeah.
keep going.
But anyways, no, it's incredibly good. It's by all accounts, it shouldn't be as good as it is. And I'm not saying that to knock anyone who worked on the show. It just, if you said, hey, you should watch this show about a girl who's good at chess, that doesn't sound interesting. But at no point did I
Right.
think the show was slow or uninteresting, or the lead actress is fantastic. I think most of the characters are very interesting.
It's very artfully done. It's shot in
Yeah.
a really, cinematic, like all of the color toning and everything is really well done. So in the first, I think it was the first episode when she's at the orphanage, they start giving her these pills, and the name of the pills is fiction, but it's supposed to represent a real drug at the time that they apparently handed out to kids like candy, which they nicknamed Mother's Little Helper. And it was a way to sort of like, it was seriously a way to like sedate your children. And that's what they're sort of basing that drug on in the show, which
Wow.
she kind of becomes addicted to as a young girl.
I think, yeah. And I remember at one point, somebody handing them out refers to them as tranks, essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially. I didn't remember them giving it a proper name, but they essentially say, yeah, we're not allowed to give tranquilizers to kids anymore.
Yeah.
Because they learned a few things in the 60s. Anyways, and look, nothing makes me feel dumber more quickly than people talking about chess, right? So I am totally out of my league, and I don't think you have to understand chess though at all to watch it, because a lot of times they just show very quick movements to kind of speed up the actual process of the game. So you don't have to actually know what's going on, because that, for whatever reason, I'm dumb, and that felt like a barrier for entry. Like, I don't know anything about chess. Maybe it's not interesting. But they do a very good job at like quick cutting the chess games, but still giving you enough detail on like strategies and things like that that you can follow along no matter where you are in regards to the game. So it's fantastic, man. I Netflix did a really good job early on at a lot of great content, and then the water got muddied pretty quickly with the quantity that they were putting out. So it's nice between The Crown and The Queen's Gambit and a few of the other shows on there that they do have some very worthwhile dramas to check out. So yeah, I think it's great. Anybody not watching it, even though I'm late to the game, should certainly check it out. It's only 7 episodes.
Good stuff. Kendall, are you watching or reading or listening to anything lately that you want to share with our loyal listeners?
Well, I taught my kid how to ride a bike, so that happened.
We just sat on our couches and watched shows.
Yeah. The kid will learn how to ride a bike eventually.
Stay in the basement. We told you to
I've got to finish Queen's Gambit.
I mean, we watched it after our kid was in bed, but fine.
Nah, I'm just joshing you.
You try to paint me into a corner.
Just
Hey, Lola.
It's what I do. It's what I do. I'm playing a part, pretending that you guys are playing a part that I don't actually think you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun. It's fun.
It's almost like a mental chess match we're having here.
It's almost like a mental chess match that we're having. That's right. It's a good thing it's not an actual chess match, because you guys probably wouldn't get it.
No,
It's not
So far behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, they kind of
is there
spell it
a
out
chess
for you.
video game that you guys are in here? I mean, there's a series on Netflix, so that's whatever was on that is the extent of what you guys know about board games.
I do feel a little bit like everyone's watching the same shows all at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not contrarian like Kendall, it makes me want to go watch something other than what's on everyone's watching on Netflix.
Mhm.
But then I eventually succumb like I did with Tiger King, and I'm like, oh, all right.
I did that with Tiger King. My wife and I both did, but it's not like I'm watching anything else either. Like that's just not my world. But I will say this: that finally, Blacklist season 7 is now up on Netflix.
The animated series.
It finished up animated, so I haven't gotten that far. It's been like I found out that it was up like a couple weeks ago. I've watched like 3 episodes of it so far, but I'll get there. I'm excited about that animated situation.
Are you guys completists? Like Sherry and I realized the other day that we have so many shows that we started, some of which, like The Blacklist, we were like 4 seasons in, and like it's still hanging out there. We haven't finished it. Does that bother you or gnaw at you like it does me?
Well, so I'm not completist in that like I feel that it's necessary to finish watching something that I started. I am in that like if I'm still interested in something, like I'm not interested in starting anything else. Like I don't want to have 2 shows. So for me, it's like I'll finish Blacklist before I do anything else.
Well, I am in the sense that I want to hear the full word, which is completionist. But
Dang it. You got me on a word thing.
I just don't think we are as irresponsible in how many shows we start as some people, and we only start things we really, really know we want to watch. But seriously, I don't think we are. But I think we start a lot less. Like if we start a show, we know we're gonna watch it, because we don't start that many. So I think a lot of people kind of casually follow along. We don't have cable. A lot of people kind of casually still follow along with shows on cable and watch what they can. And that doesn't happen. If it's because we've been staring down a show in our queue for like 6 months and we're like, okay, let's start this one now. And we'll watch 2 or 3 episodes a night after the kiddo's in bed.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's as many opportunities to not finish things.
Sure.
Cool. Makes sense to me. Hey, what are you guys watching? What are you reading or listening to? Did I make the wrong choice by telling my neighbor's guest's insurance company that he was likely inebriated when his insurance company called me? Do you have thoughts on completionists versus completists? Because I think somebody does. What else did we hit on tonight? Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? Let us know. Interact with us. Send us a voice message. We love hearing from you guys. It is one of our favorite things to do, just going through the backlog of voicemails that we get from you. You can do that by going to our landing page. There are links to that in the description of this episode, wherever you found it. Be sure to follow us at From the Mid Pod everywhere and follow our pages. Jump on to Facebook and find the group From the Middle for the Middlers. There's a lot of fun going on over there. People interact with that multiple times a day, and we have a good time with it. Anything else, fellas?
Yeah, let's not forget our friends over at Artius Man.
Yes.
It's the holiday season. People need gifts. Lots of great stuff. Artiusman.com, right? ARTIUS man.com. And super, super sweet deal. 25% off your first order. Throw in promo code The Middle. It helps us. It helps Artius Man. It helps you save a ton of cash. Who doesn't need to save cash for the holidays? So they've got lots of awesome stuff and scents, and for sure. And I think they've got for sure. Go check it out. And I think they've got some sweet samples right now. They're sending too. Don't hold me to that in case they're gone by the time you get there.
It's a while supplies last thing, but I put in an order and I hope to get my samples.
Yeah, you get like 5 samples with your order.
Yeah, it's super
Six,
sweet.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, super sweet. So go check out artiestman.com. And if you're interested to see what we ate for dinner and Corey's amazing Thanksgiving spread, specifically check us out on Instagram at From the Mid Pod. But we're everywhere and we share lots of different stuff on all of our different profiles. So you won't see the same pictures everywhere, the same videos everywhere. So that's it. I think you can cover the rest.
Nutsacks. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Love you.